Turns out, voting works. It's real. As much as we thought they had it rigged, as much as we thought there was shenanigans and it's just a puppet show and there's no way.
Joe Rogan's revelations are always perplexing to the average man. This time, he reveals the tribe that has been breaking all of physics rules for millennia. With so few resources, how do they survive and thrive in the most remote locations? What would their lives be like without modern technology and convenience? Let's see what Joe has discovered about these intriguing indigenous people. The Maasai tribe are cowards when it comes to protection. The Maasai tribe, which is primarily found in Kenya and Tanzania, is the first and most fascinating of East Africa's ethnic groups. Many people, including popular podcast host Joe Rogan, have been drawn to their unique customs and way of life. On his show, The Joe Rogan Experience, he frequently makes observations about the Maasai people, their customs, and their incredible way of life. Behind the Maasai's rich cultural legacy and remarkably vibrant jewelry and clothing lies a deeper story of resiliency and survival in the face of great adversity. The Maasai originated in North Africa and moved south in the 15th century. Their path was not straightforward. They strengthened their bond with these animals by acquiring cattle from other tribes on the road. Still, in the early 20th century, drought and disease killed nearly half of their population and herds. Not enough. The Maasai had to deal with a large influx of European immigrants who claimed their territory. By 1911, the Maasai were pushed to less fertile territory in Kenya and Tanzania as a result of a contentious treaty with British immigrants that required them to give up the best areas of their land. Despite losing much of their territory, the Maasai are one of Africa's most recognizable tribes. Their strong connection to the land remains, even though their presence in places like the Masai Mara and Serengeti is now limited due to wildlife reserves. To protect their valuable cattle, the Maasai have traditionally coexisted with animals in these areas, sometimes facing dangerous predators such as lions and cheetahs. The Maasai people are semi-nomadic, constantly moving in search of fertile land for their herds to graze on. They consider cattle more than just animals. They represent riches and prestige. Maasai gain more respect in their society as they own more cows. Cattle are also an important part of Maasai culture. Cows are their currency. They exchange them at weddings as part of the bride's price. Cows purchase wives in their society, and these interactions contribute to the strengthening of family bonds. Furthermore, the Maasai diet is closely associated with their cattle. Their amazing physical strength is derived from milk, blood, and meat. Actually, the Maasai are among the strongest and tallest people in Africa, which can be attributed to their high calcium diet. Adamu, or jumping dance, is one of the most well-known Maasai traditions. For young Maasai men, this is a rite of passage rather than just a form of entertainment. Boys who are becoming warriors must perform Adamu during the Unoto ceremony. A young man's attractiveness and respect will increase as his jumping ability improves. This jumping ability, which is typically associated with strength, has captivated people all over. Though many people quickly realize how difficult it is to jump as high as the Maasai do, visitors to Tanzania and Kenya are frequently invited to witness or even participate in the Adamu. Joe Rogan has frequently praised the Maasai's physical strength, particularly their ability to jump nearly 3 feet into the air without using their arms for momentum. Their accomplishment without modern tools or instruction adds to its significance. Although researchers have studied the Maasai, their seemingly magical ability to leap so effortlessly raises some almost magical questions. Rogan has discussed how the Maasai appear to have a strong link between their way of life and physical strength, drawing on something primal. Jumping is not only a physical performance, but also a cultural and social event for the Maasai. For a warrior, it symbolizes strength, maturity, and readiness to face life's challenges. The Maasai people proudly preserve their customs, even if many of them are considered controversial or out of date in modern society. Though their incredible physical strength and culture have garnered international attention, the Maasai are not Africa's only tribe with a unique and breathtaking way of life. Secrets of the Hadza tribe. While the Maasai are well known for their close relationship with cattle and strength as warriors, the next intriguing tribe we're about to introduce has a very different way of life based on hunter-gatherer practices. Living in the same East African region, this special offers a glimpse into an ancient way of life that is vastly different but equally fascinating. The Hadza tribe, one of the last hunter-gatherer societies, has lived in Tanzania's savannas for thousands of years. Their survival is dependent on maintaining a close relationship with the environment and demonstrating age-old abilities honed over generations. The Hadza people live peacefully with the earth and its resources, relying on hunting, gathering, and foraging. Their unparalleled awareness of plants and animals allows them to respond quickly to their surroundings. Hunting is central to their way of life, and men use traditional bows and arrows. Starting at dawn, their eyes scan the horizon for movement. As they hunt the game, using strategy and patience to ensure food, the suspense builds. This custom is a cultural pillar that strengthens people's bonds and promotes resilience, and it's not just for food. Still, the demands of modernity loom over them. The Hadza people's way of life is under unprecedented threat as agriculture spreads across their land. The tribe's knowledge includes honey collecting, a highly sought-after resource. Women climb tall trees to get to beehives, which is both dangerous and thrilling. While the threat of aggressive bees lingers, the sweetness of success is also present. As they face this challenge and demonstrate their fearlessness, one can clearly feel an adrenaline rush. Still, honey is a necessary energy source for their active lifestyle. It is more than just a treat. As the sun sets over the plains, the tribe gathers around the fire, laughing and telling stories together. Though whispers of change disrupt the peace, their shared experience strengthens their bond. Modern influences challenge their customs, fueling a desire to protect their identity. The conflict between preserving their legacy and adapting to modern reality intensifies, leaving the Hadza at a crossroads. The Hadza tribe is on the verge of change as the outside world invades their sacred land. In just the last 50 years, modern farms and communities have taken away 75 to 90% of their ancestral territory. Their situation becomes more urgent by the day, and their struggle to maintain their identity in an increasingly hostile environment causes obvious stress. Despite their resilience, their challenges appear overwhelming. The Hadza are especially vulnerable to outside pressures because they do not grow or store their own food, nor do they have domesticated animals. The advent of agriculture and land ownership calls into question their traditional way of life, which is rich in knowledge such as bow and arrow construction from basic materials. The questions weigh heavily. Can people adapt without compromising their culture? Will their previous methods of survival vanish into thin air? The Hadza have an incredible connection with their surroundings. They hunt game, but they also have a nearly magical ability to locate honey. The tribe is said to be quite adept at bird communication. They frequently ask feathered friends to lead them to secret hives. This remarkable link demonstrates a conflict between the Hadza's deep respect for nature and modern society's view of it as a resource to be exploited. Their incredible strength and fitness are the result of a physically demanding lifestyle. Early on, Hadza children develop muscular bodies capable of attacking the toughest wild animals. Years of hunting and gathering have shaped this body, which raises questions and concerns among scientists. How can they maintain such good health without modern gyms or diets? The mystery grows deeper as scientists speculate about the unique bacteria in their guts that may aid in the digestion of raw foods, resulting in an intriguing conflict between tradition and the future. Still, the dynamics shift as the Hadza allow curious visitors to live with them. Tourism, while providing financial opportunities, has the potential to commercialize their culture. The excitement of outsiders witnessing their honey-gathering ceremonies raises moral questions about authenticity and exploitation. Can the Hadza navigate the complexities of modern life while maintaining their dignity? The struggle of the Hadza tribe is a gripping story of survival against all odds. They are aware that they are losing their way of life with each passing day, but their strong will provides hope. While some ancient tribes in the Amazon have effectively avoided contact with the outside world, the Hadza and Maasai tribes are fighting for survival against an ever-expanding modern civilization. The Guarani tribe, with nearly 4,000 members, is one of these. They communicate in their own language, which is distinct from all other languages. This unique language distinguishes them from other tribes and highlights their rich cultural legacy. The Guarani are deeply rooted in their territory and live in an important part of Ecuador. They have fought valiantly to keep their home safe from outside invaders. However, as modern society continues to invade their territory, this fight has become increasingly difficult. Their traditional way of life is gravely threatened by rapid technological advancement. The Guarani's survival is threatened by logging, oil extraction, and agricultural expansion into their forests. These pressures have caused the Guarani to drastically change their way of life. They used to thrive as hunters and gatherers, roaming the rainforest in search of food and supplies. They relied on their extensive knowledge of the territory and its resources. However, as outsiders have encroached, their ability to hunt and gather in the same way has diminished. Many Guarani have moved away from their nomadic lifestyle and into permanent forest communities. This change raises questions about the sustainability of indigenous cultures and demonstrates how modernism shapes them. Despite these difficulties, the Guarani tribe has decided to cut off contact with the outside world. They, like other tribes in the area, have opposed attempts to integrate into modern society. Some would consider this a stupid decision because they believe they should welcome advancement. The Guarani, on the other hand, would find it impossible to abandon their long-standing customs. For millennia, they have coexisted peacefully with their surroundings. Therefore, breaking their customs feels like betraying their identity. Imagine living in a world where your neighbors are invading your home and demanding a different way of life. Every day, the Guarani face this harsh reality as outsiders surround their territory. The tribe's determination to preserve their culture demonstrates their resilience. They are fighting for their entire way of life, as well as their territory. Although Amazonian tribes are adamant about their policy of no contact with progressive humans, the next tribe would welcome any outsider with open arms, lit fires, and sharpened utensils. After all, they see people from the outside world as their next meal. A tribe in the heart of Papua New Guinea challenges not only social conventions, but also fundamental physics principles. Unlike the well-documented Hadza and Guarani tribes, which live in harmony with the environment, this tribe's customs deviate into uncharted territory. Cannibalism rituals are deeply ingrained in custom, and they paint a picture of a society confronting life and death in ways that many people find disturbing. These tribespeople stick to their traditions, even as the world rapidly modernizes and they face insurmountable challenges. Papua New Guinea is home to over 900 tribes, with West Papua accounting for approximately 300 of those. These tribes are among the most diverse civilizations on the planet, with distinct customs and languages. The country has struggled with governance since gaining independence in 1975, as the many local societies must be unified under a single national identity. Once isolated, the outside world exerts increasing influence on the island's tribes through industrial encroachment, deforestation, and agriculture, putting their way of life at risk. As the tribes fight to protect their land and culture, the ongoing threat provides a backdrop for their survival. Certain tribes have become well known for their cannibalistic practices. This label, which is frequently sensationalized, conceals the profound significance that these ceremonies hold for individuals. Many people are surprised to learn that cannibalism honors the dead and helps their community preserve the spirit of loved ones. These tribes believe that eating the body prevents it from being eaten by worms, which is considered dishonest, and thus do not bury or cremate their dead. Feast on the dead symbolizes connection and respect. This custom, which embodies the belief that the spirits of their ancestors remain present in their lives, calls into question the concept of death by claiming that the dead continue to play an important role in their society. In Papua New Guinea, cannibalism does not occur on a daily basis. It is reserved for specific ceremonies, particularly after disputes between neighboring tribes. They claim to be victorious by swallowing the bodies of slain adversaries and thus repelling evil spirits. This practice, which is an important part of their spiritual beliefs, assists them in maintaining community and identity in the face of ongoing challenges. Many tribes, which are sometimes regarded as backward by outsiders, are still committed to their ancestral ways despite modern influences. This viewpoint, however, overlooks the breadth of their cultural activities. A guest on an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience discussed how a few cases of cannibalism could protect the tribe's members from diseases commonly associated with the practice, such as kuru. They reduce the risks associated with cannibalism because they do not regularly consume human flesh. As globalization continues to infiltrate their territory, these tribes are under intense pressure to adapt or abandon their traditions. Unlike cannibal tribes in Papua New Guinea, Amazonian hunter-gatherers, and other isolated tropical tribes, the indomitable Chukchi tribe today is one that no one wants to mess with. Living in one of the world's coldest regions, the Chukchi have survived on their own for millennia in the frigid hell. The Chukchi tribe, which lives in the heart of Siberia where few people venture, demands respect. Adapting to conditions that would test even the toughest people, this strong group has thrived in one of the world's coldest regions. Survival is a difficult task in the face of frequently dropping temperatures. Nonetheless, over millennia, the Chukchi have mastered this frigid terrain. They stand out from many other civilizations due to their incredible ability to survive and thrive in such a hostile environment. The Chukchi have historically demonstrated incredible tenacity. The Russian army launched several campaigns against the tribe in the 1700s with the goal of subjugating them. The Russians eventually gave up after 40 years of costly efforts. This background demonstrates that the Chukchi are not easily defeated. They vigorously defend their territory, culture, and way of life in the face of external pressures. Their ability to endure hardship has become a defining characteristic